And welcome back to Contemporary Black Voices. And this is our final segment on bridging the gap between older and younger Black Americans. And with that being said, let me ask this question. How can we bridge this gap where, I don't know, I want to use the word victims, not in the, not being negative, but how can we bridge this gap to where both sides recognize that we are victims of the same system?
I think that again it starts with conversation and education, not only through our own loved ones, but we really have to start having more community conversations, more organization within our communities, whether it be through the church level, whether it be through social media. We have to really start putting an effort to engage our people. We have to have uncomfortable conversations and be okay with having those conversations without putting our egos and with allowing the youth to listen to the elders, the elder to listen to the youth, because the truth is we really are in this together. And it's very important that we understand neither one of us gets ahead without the other.
Right.
For me, what got all, like, it made the world of difference for how I approach activism to how some of my counterparts did was I actually appreciated the wisdom that I could get from the people that had already been where I'm going. I understood that that doesn't mean I may follow you. And I think when it comes to those conversations, our elders will have to understand that does not mean that they're going to follow you in everything you say. But if we start that dialogue and start sitting down and having open and honest communication, again, without the judgment, just straight communication, then we start to understand that from our elders, we gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom and foresight. They've been there. From the youth, you have the new energy, you have new strategy, you have new methods. So if you put that together, then you get a lot more done. You know, that when we were doing the Black Lives Matter movement, I didn't keep our organization only around young people, even though they were like a lot of the movement. We went to our elders like Mario Salas, like T.C. Calvert. We asked them, hey, guide us, help us, show us, because we understand that you've already fought these fights, you've had these battles, you've won victories. Let us know what we're doing wrong.
And that's a key, and I don't think that happens enough.
No, and it doesn't. It really doesn't. That's something that it was unique, but again, it showed, and I think what we got done showed that when you do that and when you effectively collaborate, change does happen. Because we got a lot of change done in the city, and it wasn't any one person. It was because of the unique collaboration that was taking place. Both the seniors, the youth, the baby boomers, to the Gen Zers, the everybody in between. It was a collaborative effort, and that's when you really see true change.
Let me ask this. Did you watch Super Bowl?
I watched parts of the Super Bowl.
Did you watch halftime show?
I watched the halftime show.
Are you a Kendrick Lamar fan?
I don't really know Kendrick Lamar. I didn't know him until the beef happened with him and Drake, and then he blew up, and then I knew him. I'm a fan of the song.
Okay, not like us.
I like the song.
I know that. I know that's right.
So look, this show is called Bridging the Gap.
Right.
And the more I hear about Kendrick Lamar and the halftime show, lets me know how far removed I am. And I'm using me as an example, but yet and still broader Black America is removed from what this guy did. To me, I look at his halftime show, I didn't understand it. But after reading and looking more about it, this guy almost did like some new type of artwork, like a new Picasso, that beauty can only be obtained through the person who's looking at it.
Right.
And if you don't understand it, you really need to understand this type of artwork. So when you talk about bridging the gap, I was hoping that you knew a little bit more about him and how you can tell us about how we bridge that gap, because I think that that's a very defining line to see from an artwork that most people didn't understand, including myself.
Yeah, I think that, I don't really know him. You know what, I stay so busy. It's hard for me to stay up on what's going on and who's coming out. Okay. But I did track the song. And it was important, and what he did at the Super Bowl had a definite important impact and a meaning to the culture if you understood the symbologies behind it. I think a lot of people were lost because they were just looking just at the performance and not understanding what was being said, the symbols, and how he was coming and using this white platform to televise the revolution, as he called it, you know? So I think what he did was brilliant in the form of art. But like with most artists, it's open to interpretation. And again, depending on what lens you're looking through, depends on if you see what that artist interpreted. And I think as people started looking and seeing, oh, this meant this meant this, then they were able to see, oh, this was the, you know, it had a bigger meaning. So I think from an artistic standpoint, it was brilliant.
So what we're going to do here is getting ready to slowly wrap up. And my seat partner over here to my right said he had a lot to say. So I'm going to let you wrap up this show.
So I have a lot to say, but my issue is, first of all, I identify as Gen Z. So let's start with that. But my issue is this idea of victim mentality, just that in itself, right? Now, if somebody comes up to me and they knock the hell out of me 6 times, and then the 7th time they lift their fist, I'm gonna flinch.
Definitely.
Is that victim mentality?
It's not.
Right. So it's the same situation. When we're trying to tell the young folks what these people are about, is because we've experienced it.
Definitely, 100%.
Over and over and over again. And the issue is the young folks need to listen.
Well, and also educate themselves, because a lot of them, like I was talking to you, a lot of the young people I talk about, they believe that slavery was so far back.
Right.
They don't realize there's people alive that dealt with those very things, that saw racism, that were called, that could not say anything back.
So this is we've been dealing with this for 250 years, and it's not changed.
No.
You know what I mean? This country has not changed. What you have, and even if you don't listen to me, listen to what they're saying, listen to what they're doing. Right now, this man is saying we're going to deport millions of folks. Black history don't matter. Your contributions don't matter. We're not going to teach it. We're going to get rid of diversity and equity and inclusion. But white farmers from South Africa, welcome in.
Man.
You know what I mean? Welcome. These people have thrown down the gauntlet. If you don't want to listen to me telling you that they're racist, listen to them.
Preach, brother.
Right? That's what I'm saying. So our generation, we lost a lot of stuff. Coming over here, one of the main things we lost in slavery was this culture and this cultural connection, where in a lot of other cultures and societies, there's a veneration of the elders and of elderly wisdom and knowledge that's passed down. And so we lost a lot of that here in this country. And a lot of young folks don't venerate that knowledge and that wisdom that's passed down.
Definitely.
And they need to listen when we're trying to tell them, because these are things that we've gone through. We know this country. We dealt with this country. We've been victimized by this country. It's okay to have a victim mentality if you've actually been victimized.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So my problem is with this idea that we have a victim mentality and we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're talking about. Society has changed. Society has not changed.
And see, I think also, though, I think the word is wrong, because it's not a victim mentality that you have. It's just the understanding of the reality of the situation. A victim mentality is, oh, woe is me, I can't do anything, I'm just getting beat. That's never been the case, because from 250 years ago all the way till current day, there has always been us fighting back, fighting against. So it's never a victim mentality. And when it comes to our race, I feel like we're one of the only people who cannot speak about our past without it being called a victim mentality.
Exactly.
Some of the reason our own people say that is because they've bought into what they're being sold by the mass society. We're letting the main society control and tell us how to think. Right. So we're taught, oh, I don't need that, and I don't want no victim mentality. That's your oppressor coming through your lips.
Exactly.
Because it's not, because we would never tell a Holocaust survivor.
That's my point.
Don't share your story.
Share.
That's a victim mentality.
We don't want to hear.
We don't want to hear what Hitler did to you. We don't want to hear about that, because that's a victim mentality. We want to hear about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. You will never hear that said.
Exactly.
We have a lot to talk about. But we're running out of time. And so we would ask that you put your comments in share your comments, and we want to thank you for taking time out to listen to Contemporary Black Voices, where we tell our story our way.